The bosses in this game are no joke. I think that the team must have had, something to prove when designing them. Almost all of them have multiple stages and take several hits to take down. They usually have very specific methods planned by the developer for dispatching them. And you have very little room to be creative in your approach or to even make mistakes. They feel a generation away from the bosses in the original game. Really, the secret to them is pattern memorization more than player skill. Spending lives to learn where to stand and when to strike is not my favorite boss strategy when you have limited lives. In games like Hollow Knight, it works well because you have infinite lives and the consequences for death are, there, but they're not tied to a system that starts you back over whenever you die so many times. It can be really frustrating to only have a few lives to go through before you have to navigate to a title screen again to get back to where you were. The music's good as well. It never quite rises to the level of its predecessors. I'm not really qualified to review games music mechanically. What I can tell you is that none of the tracks stay with me quite like the songs from DKC 1 and 2. They're good, but not as memorable. Indeed, they might be the most appropriate way to sum up my experience with the game in general. It was good, but just not as memorable as the other two. At least not for me. Your mileage may vary, and if someone told me that the third was their all-time favorite, I could totally see why. Honestly, I might feel the same way if Kitty's hitbox was just a little bit smaller, or if he was just Diddy Kong or Donkey. In closing, this is a good game, worth anyone's time, but there's a reason it's not as revered as the other two in the series. The only area in which it outshines what came before is in its presentation. The unique world map and stunning visuals for the Super Nintendo are still a standout to this day, but as far as the overall experience, it falls a little short in my opinion. Should you play it? Yes. Yes, you should absolutely. It is worth your time. Honestly, it was never going to be the best on the Super Nintendo. It was made in a time and a place where it was an afterthought rather than the flagship attraction. Rare was already moving on to bigger, better things on the N64. But that's okay. It's still well put together, graphically impressive, and entertaining romp that if you can play, you totally should.